All right, let's go ahead and let's build this game. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make an iOS game here, and we'll call this, for example, we could call it press the correct square for iPhone, and give it a production number. You can go ahead and do that if you wish to. And we're just going to go ahead and push next. And you want to make sure that it's Swift, SpriteKit, and iPhone specifically. Okay, you're going to go ahead and push create, and here you go. So now that we have all of this set up here, let's go ahead, let's run it, and this will make sure that the game works. Because sometimes when you start up a code, it might not work. So I've selected the game scene.swift, and I've hid these two other areas here. And if we pull up our simulator, yeah, look at that. It does indeed work. Okay. Now let's go and let's delete all the extraneous code. And that's going to go, and because it comes with code that we don't need this extra code here. So it should look something like this. All right, let's add in our variables and all of our items that we need to make this game work. So we're going to add a variable. We'll call this left square. Make that equal to sk sprite node. And then var right square equal to sk sprite node. And what we're doing here is we are allowing the left square and the right square to be sprite nodes that we can go ahead and click whenever we want. Let's add a main label here. So let's add an LBL main is equal to sk label node. Okay. And what this is going to do is that this is going to allow us to make something that we can go ahead and make here. So let's go to var LBL score is equal to sk label node. And while we're here, let's go ahead and let's add in a block size. So we'll call this square size is equal to CG size. And we'll give it a width and a height here. And we'll make this a specific size. And the size that we're going to make it here is, well, pretty big. So let's make it 150 by 150. We can always change this later if we want. Okay. And you can see here that there's an error, and it's because there's no space. Swift is very picky about spaces, so keep that in mind here. Okay. Let's add in a variable called background custom color, and then make that equal to UI color dot orange color, because I like the orange color. It's a good color. Let's add in our off black and off white color, so let's make it an off black color. Make that equal to UI color, and we'll make it into our RGBA value, red, green, blue, alpha, and we'll make it 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, and 1.0. That will make it a dark gray, and alpha's transparency. For background colors and colors, you generally want to set that to 1.0 because it's completely opaque. Let's call this off-white color, make it equal to UI color. Again, RGBA value. In this case, we'll make it 0.98, 0.98, and 0.98, and 1.0. And what we'll do is we'll add in another variable here. We'll call this score, and this will be the score. And we need to add in the color of the square. We need to randomly select that here. So let's go color square, make that equal to 0. We're going to randomly set that variable later here. Let's add in a couple of game state variables. We'll call this tapped left square, and we'll make that equal to false. And this will do exactly what it says. So when you tap the left square, it will change it to false. Let's go tapped right square and make that equal to false. Now, technically, you could get away with one variable. In this point, for example, tapped left square, and you can either make it the left square or the right square, but having these two variables just makes it a little bit easier and a little bit more foolproof from a code point of view. Adding in a game state variable for each object is never a bad idea, and we'll add in another variable here. We'll call this touched node, make it equal to sk node, so we'll keep track of the right node here. Let's add in a touch location and make it equal to touch location, or in this case it's going to be CG point. Okay, we're going to have to set that up. And then we're going to say a countdown variable. So we'll go countdown var. And we'll make that equal to 13. You'll see why. And then another game state variable is alive. We want to make sure the player is alive or not. And we'll make that equal to true for now. Okay? So this pretty much works here. Let's do a couple things. In our override did move to view, let's go to self.background color is equal to background color custom color. So we'll set it to orange here, and we'll say that this is touch location. And that way we'll store the touch location in that global variable here. So if we run it, take a look at this, we have this nice looking orange background, right? This includes a tutorial.